I'm Dr. Carl Nath, and I serve as Editor-in-Chief of Mayo Clinic Proceedings. Previously, I was privileged to serve as the Program Director of the Clinician Investigator Training Program, the CI program at Mayo Clinic. I am particularly privileged and delighted to introduce Dr. Vesna Garovic to today's discussion. Dr. Garovic and I will be discussing our article entitled The Career of the Clinical Investigator, Quo Vadis, which will appear in the April 2023 issue of Mayo Clinic Proceedings. Dr. Garovic is the Dean for Clinical and Translational Science, the Principal Investigator of the NIH-funded Mayo Clinic Center for Clinical and Translational Science, the Chair of the Division of Nephrology and Hypertension at Mayo Clinic, and an Associate Editor for Mayo Clinic Proceedings. Dr. Garovic, welcome. Could you begin our presentation by describing the impetus and basis for our Perspectives article?
Thank you very much, Dr. Nath, for this kind invitation. The clinical investigator brings a unique dual expertise in clinical medicine and biomedical investigation to the biomedical research enterprise. The continuation of such contribution is dependent on the recruitment of nascent clinical investigators and their subsequent maturation into independent, productive, and funded participants in the research community at large. Maintenance of this paradigm, however, is greatly threatened. Ever since Weingarten's landmark commentary, The Clinical Investigator as an Endangered Species, was published in 1979, leading investigators have continued to voice such grave concerns. Dr. Nath, you and I have spent much of our careers involved in programs dedicated to the training of clinical investigators. In the course of preparing the renewal of our current NIH R38 training grant, Stimulating Access to Research in Residency, or short STAR, we thought we should highlight this issue. There has never been a more exciting time than now to pursue a career as a clinical investigator. Current biomedical research in its wide range of discoveries yields such as abundant marvels, whatever the specific focus of investigation within the vast expanse of biomedical research, from studies of global and population health to clinical trials, to the application of artificial intelligence to disease processes, to the most sophisticated cell and molecular biology, and myriad of omics.
Dr. Garovic, I am so glad that you underscored the exciting times these are for biomedical research. Hopefully, this would serve to offset the disincentives in pursuing the career of the clinician investigator, which are many and which I will enumerate. The protracted training that is necessary, the financial indebtedness incurred during medical school, the difficulty in securing extramural funding and the relatively late career stage at which funding is eventually achieved, the generally less professional remuneration that is obtained, the challenge of developing dual expertise in a hybrid career, and the increasing complexity of both, the bureaucratic obligations increasingly enveloping these careers, the issue of professional burnout, the additional challenges unique to clinical investigators who are women and/or diverse, and the relative lack of appropriate mentors and role models. Among the strategies intended to address these challenges are recruiting and training clinical investigators during medical school and residency, a cohesive integration of scientific and clinical training, dedicated mentoring, debt relief including the NIH loan repayment program, and expedited clinical training. Many of these approaches are fulfilled by the NIH flagship Medical Scientist Training Program, which confers the MD PhD degree. Shortly after Weingarten's landmark paper, Mayo Clinic introduced an intramural program for research training during residency and fellowship, the Clinician Investigator Training Program, known as the CI program. The first trainee was appointed in 1981. Such integration of research during residency was also initiated and widely established by the remarkably successful American Board of Internal Medicine, the ABIM research track. Dr. Garovic, could you describe the NIH R38 grant stimulating access to research and residency, also known as the STAR grant, funded at Mayo Clinic?
Certainly, because the increasing numbers of research-oriented residents, we sought an additional program to complement institutional CI efforts and CI program. This was fulfilled by our funded NIH STAR program. The NIH R38 STAR program resembles the CI program in its vision, mission, its mentor-based design, and the support of research during residency. Like the CI program, the STAR program introduces and supports research training for late bloomers. Mayo Clinic received the STAR Award funded from 2020 to 2024 by NHLBI. And since the beginning of the STAR program at Mayo Clinic, 8 residents have been appointed by the STAR program, and they are from such diverse departments and divisions as internal medicine, cardiovascular diseases, hematology, general surgery, cardiothoracic surgery, and pediatric and adolescent medicine. Analogously, the research supported is diverse, ranging from basic biomedical research to disease-oriented research to patient-oriented research. It is important to emphasize that the intent and hope in clinical investigator training are that such training culminates in independent funding. Programs such as MD-PhD program, CI program, the ABIM research track, and STAR are thus precursors to the next stage of mentor programs such as the NIH Mentored Research Awards, K Awards, which in turn lead into pathways to independence awards such as the NIH K99 or 00. Ultimately, the desired achievement for such sequential and layered training is the NIH R01 or equivalent extramural award indicating research independence.
Dr. Garovic, thank you. I thought I would share the mnemonic of 6 M's you and I came up with in our perspective article, and which encapsulates what you and I regard as key considerations in the career of a clinical investigator: marvels, motivation, mentor, methodology, milieu, and money. Marvels to underpin the excitement of current biomedical research and its discoveries. Motivation to maintain focus and commitment to what may be challenging careers. Mentors to provide training and methodology to motivate and to enable the connectivity of their mentees to intramural and extramural milieus. Finally, there is the issue of money needed at all levels of a research career. Trainees need to be familiar with and appreciate the monetary aspect of research and to develop the ability to write cohesive, concise, and compelling grant applications. Such writing skills and preliminary and published data constitute the coin of the realm for success in their careers. Dr. Garovic, your closing thoughts and insights regarding the career of the clinical investigator.
Thank you, Dr. Nath. There is a certain curiosity that motivates the pursuit of biomedical research, and there is a certain fulfillment, indeed exhilaration, that comes from the experience of biomedical discovery. Such curiosity and fulfillment underpin the allure of a career as a clinician investigator. Most importantly, such career not infrequently have led to major discoveries that have markedly changed our understanding of disease or the course of clinical practice. Mentoring programs such as STAR, CI, MD, PhD, and others provide the needed nurturing and support for nascent clinician investigators as they commence and continue along this truly wonderful journey that both of us had the privilege to experience.
Dr. Garovic, I thank you for your insights and commentary regarding the career of the clinical investigator. We also thank everyone for joining our presentation. Our perspective article on this topic will appear in the April 2023 issue of Mayo Clinic Proceedings. We hope you found this presentation from the content of our website valuable. Our journal's mission is to promote the best interests of patients by advancing the knowledge and professionalism of the physician community. If you are interested in more information about us, our homepage is www.mayoclinicproceedings.org. There you'll find access to information for our social media content, such as additional videos on our YouTube channel or journal updates on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter. More information about healthcare at Mayo Clinic is available at www.mayoclinic.org. This video content is copyrighted by Mayo Foundation for Medical Education and Research.